really hoping I'm not too late for you guys to get to see this. Reise Cougar is out there just having a blast with her little ball, knocking it all over the cage, and it took me forever to get Facebook to come up so I could go live. I'm gonna see if I can get a little bit closer angle on her. It's 50 degrees here in Tampa, Florida, and the cats are loving this cooler weather. Are you having fun, Riza? Is that fun? Hello, Diane. Rah! Rah! You got the toys? You got toys? I'm having fun with my toys. She's been batting it all over the place. Hey, Vivica. Seems to like knocking it around underneath the platform there, like she makes it hide from her, and then she goes after it. It's like, oh, it's hiding under the platform. I gotta get it. I gotta get it. Gotta dig a hole to get it. I'm such a mighty hunter. And she got it. You're so smart. You caught that ball. For those who are just tuning in, this is Reise Cougar. She's 22 years old. She's in the FunCation. She gets a 2-week vacation in the FunCation, which is 22,000 square feet. And she is making the most of knocking her ball all over all 22,000 square feet of it. Morning, Rachel. Good morning, Leslie. Named Hoover is okay. There'll be an update later on today. His meds ended Thursday, I believe, and after he was off the tramadol and gabapentin, he is eating less, and so the vets are discussing whether they can put him back on those painkillers to see if that helps his appetite any. think she has finally played herself out over there. Well, thank you, Katie. We love you guys too. Was that fun, Reise? You're such a good girl. Yes, you are. I know. You're so catty. I don't want you in my shadow. Oh, it's so cold I can't focus. Hey, Eva. Christine, this is Reise Cougar. She's 22 years old. She's in the FunCation. Cats are all very frisky this morning because it's so cold. It's 50 degrees in Tampa. Good morning, Danielle and Shauna. Hey, Ash. You waving at everybody? It's Reise waving. I'm just waving at all my fans. I know, Diane. I love those feet too. Poor old crippled cat just loves to play. She's been chasing it under there all morning. It's kind of like when you play peekaboo with your cat and you have something under the blankets that just drives them crazy. They gotta play with your toes or your fingers or whatever is under the blanket. It's a cougar version of it. Good morning, Cheryl. Gabrielle, I probably will not be going to see Gabrielle on this live cast because she's so far away. She keeps purring. She's so excited. Good morning, Krista from Norway. Allie, this beautiful puma is Reise Cougar. Nancy, she's 22 years old. In the wild and in most other places, they only live to be 10 or 12, so she's lived twice as long as would be expected. That's why she's gimpy, in addition to the fact that her previous owner, whoever originally sold her as a pet, I believe, declawed her, and they just butchered her little paws when they did it. She was sold to a drug dealer in New York and then ended up in a sanctuary in South Florida that just couldn't afford anything better than a concrete floored bird cage for her. And then she's been here for the last couple of years after that guy died. I find this behavior so interesting that she's digging at the ground because our captive cats almost never dig, and yet every time it goes under something she just starts digging to try and get it out. I know, my lighting's not so good on you. Alice Hoover is healing nicely. His medications were completed on Thursday, but as soon as he was taken off of the painkillers, he stopped eating very well. He ate 4 pounds this morning, so it's not bad, but it's just not as good as he had been doing. So the vets are talking about whether or not they should continue the pain management. Dr. Justin Borstein will be here on Monday, and we'll be doing a procedure with Angie, the bobcat, to shave off the mats in her fur. She's too old to groom herself, and she ends up with matted fur that has to be shaved a couple times a year. And so I'm sure when he comes on Monday, he's going to check on Hoover, because Hoover's right there next to the hospital. Jessica, we love Carolina Tiger Rescue. They have been a good place for cats for a long time. Are you making sure we're still watching? We're still watching you. Brrr. You're a good girl. Christine, I don't know what their white tiger page looks like. I don't believe you'll find any sanctuary who spends as much of their time and resources as we do on trying to educate people about why they shouldn't have these animals as pets, why they should never pay to pet one, why they should never pay to go see a white tiger. Those things we think are the most important part of our mission here, because if people knew that seeing a white tiger in a cage was leading to bad people breeding white tigers for life in cages, and the only way you do that is through severe inbreeding, then people wouldn't do it. And so that's why it's important to us to educate people. Same thing with the cubs. You know, every time somebody posts a picture of somebody petting a cub, they're just adding to the abuse, because people share that stuff and they go, oh wow, and isn't that cute? And because it's popular and makes a lot of money for the people who pimp out the cubs, then it just leads to more abuse. And as soon as people understand that their behaviors are causing that abuse, they'll stop. So that's why we spend so much time talking about it, and on our website and in everything that we do, is to try and stop this problem at its root. Yeah, unfortunately, people who show white tigers will often say, oh, they're so rare and they're an endangered species and you should breed them for future generations, and that's all just a lie. The only way you get white tigers is through inbreeding, and tigers have been so inbred for that purpose that now they have to crossbreed between different species of tiger, or different subspecies of tigers, which means they're genetically no good for any kind of conservation. Not that any captive cat is ever going to go free. Were you done? Is that all the fun you could have? Oh, I see. You have a tour coming. Well, Reise is somebody who really caters to the tours. She thinks all those people came to see her, and she's right. So we'll let her go. Thank you very much for joining us. Here come some of our friends.